So, hello everyone. This is Susana speaking from Slovenia, and hello to my dear friend.
Hello, this is Nina Morocco from Rafaela's Soul Sessions from Scotland.
So we are back, so to say. After a while, we decided to do another chat or another talk, and today our topic is going to be career change or everything about stepping more into your, like, let's say, right direction, or maybe onto your soul's path.
Yeah.
So we both have started our careers elsewhere. It was totally, we were doing totally different things in our lives. Both of us studied different things that we are doing now. So we want to welcome you into this space of creation, so to say, and help you with holding your hand to to go out there and to try things out. So I'm gonna give you the ball now. So and then we're just gonna start talking and chatting and asking each other questions. So
Yeah, I think it's a really, really relevant time to have this conversation because obviously we're in this global situation where they have no choice other than to face the fact that they may no longer have their jobs, or there is something that's pushing them down a bit different path. A lot of people have had time and space where they've not been going to their workspace, so they have had sort of enforced time to go inward and ask themselves, reflect and ask themselves, what am I doing with my life? And I think this is a really important time to have this open and honest conversation about being led on the path that we're called to go down. I know for myself it was just a feeling. When I watched Dolores Cannon speak about quantum healing for the first time, there was something in me that just went, I have to do this. There was something, like, I found it so fascinating. Everything that I had done beforehand was just like irrelevant to suddenly this thing that I had never ever heard about, but I was so fascinated. I could feel it in my gut. It was just like, I need to learn more about this. So, even though it was so far removed from everything else I'd done beforehand, it was just like, whatever it takes, I have to find out about how I can do this. And I think when you have that feeling about something, it can be daunting. Because people are in different situations, and I had a little child, and it's like
yeah. This topic has like a lot of layers, let's say so. And we're probably gonna split this chat into more parts, because we're just gonna keep talking and sharing, because it really is it has, and you can look at this from different perspectives, and we kind of want to give you all. So and what I want to add to what you said is one reason why people are maybe thinking about not changing careers, but this topic is coming up, is also because they're not satisfied with their work, or maybe their relationships in the company they work, or maybe this is the relationship with their bosses, maybe it's the relationship with co-workers, and maybe this work is not fulfilling, and they are like not looking for more, but there's something inside of them like telling them, this is not okay, you're not supposed to be here, you're supposed to be somewhere else. And this is one perspective. And the other one is that actually there were some studies being done in the past couple of years that a lot of professions, a lot of occupations, they're just going to disappear in the next 10 or 15 years, and we don't want to scare anyone. That's the last thing we want to do, but it's a fact. Actually, we are slowly observing it's happening, and this is also one reason why people will be looking for what's making them happy, or not what's making them happy, how they're gonna make a living. And what's this new approach is not what I'm gonna do for living, but actually what I'm gonna contribute to the community. What are my gifts, what is my knowledge that I can share with all of them, how I can make this planet and this world become a great place to live in. So
yeah, it's like the paradigm is shifting from the work, eat, sleep cycle to actually who am I and what gifts can I bring to this world to help create a better world, and assist and do my part. It's we are in the midst of this shift from having to work, to having to pay to live on a planet, to actually co-creating this beautiful, incredible world that we have this privilege to live on. And that's certainly always been my sentiment, my feeling is, why are we here if we have to pay to be alive? Like, why? What is that? but that's slightly going off topic. But it's like working's not just a thing you have to do.
Yeah.
It's
not off topic, it's totally on topic, because work and life, it's not, they are telling us these are like two separate worlds, but it's actually like we are being separated, like our ego and our soul is like two separate things, but we are all in this one body. So, and we are able to to like be together in this, and life and work is not separate. So I was like 5 minutes before we started this chat, I was actually doing my laundry. So it's actually not my favorite thing to be doing, but still, and I'm happy that I can cook a healthy meal, or that I can cook something for myself and for my boyfriend, and you're having a little child, so this is even more important, so that you can provide a good meal for your for the people you love. And it's not that we are like housewives or something, but it's a part of why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like there's just like, to me, it feels like there's a more sort of community based. You're diving into the essence of your gifts and what you can actually bring to this world, and it's not just about a job that keeps you tiding over. It's about really stepping into why you're here and what you can bring to the the line of work that you've decided to do. I mean, when you're doing the thing that you love doing, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a job. It feels like, I mean, it just feels amazing. It just feels like you're fully fulfilling your purpose, and that's a really incredible feeling. One that I hope everybody gets to experience in their lifetime here, because when you're really stepping into and fearlessly stepping into the path in which your soul and your guides and your higher self wants you to go down, then you're in alignment. And therefore you can create the thing and co-create. And that's the thing that I'm really loving, that, you know, it's not this dog eat dog world where everybody's stepping on each other's toes to get to where they have to be. It's actually coming together and going, well, how can we use the energy that we create together to build and create the thing we actually want to give to this world? And I love that feeling of creation, and that feeling of there is not any competition in it. It's just about encouraging and loving each other and bringing out the best in each other, so that we
that's what we do daily, right?
Exactly. So that we can all fulfill what we're supposed to do here in a really loving way. And I mean, I think that's quite unique for where the world has been of late.
And it's new for a lot of people because they don't know this feeling. So, but before both of us came to that point, so that we started realizing that and experiencing that, can you remember, maybe 15 years or 20 years back, how what was the base of your decisions when you decided what you're going to study or what you're going to do? How did you do that? What was it? Did you think about it? Did you feel it? Let's maybe compare, how you were doing the decisions 15 years ago and how the decisions are made now.
Well, when I left school at 17 and went straight into acting college, and I was there for 2 years. I didn't actually get my diploma for acting because I just screwed around for most of it.
That's what we all did.
I loved doing it, but I was far too sensitive to deal with the level of competition and the level of just the way people are treated and judged, the level of judgment, and it was too much. But the decision to do that, it was something that I wanted to get away from school because I had just had enough. And the decision to do that was something creative and something that I enjoyed. And then after that, my decision was, I'm going to stick around where I am because I have this toxic relationship that I feel like I need to fulfill. And then I went on to, I moved to Edinburgh and became a waitress in a little cafe. And on an anthropological level, I guess that was really, really helpful, because I got to observe people and be around people, and but these decisions came just because I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a mum, but I also knew that I needed to find the right person to do that with. And I just didn't really know. I was just, because it's so fresh out of school and the trauma of school. And then, yeah, I just kind of floated around until I found something that stuck for a while, and then I'd probably move on to the next thing for a bit. There wasn't really any structure to anything I did 15 years ago.
So, see, we have totally yeah, our stories are totally different.
What was yours? What were yours?
Yeah, so it was more rigid and yeah, like you said, more structured, and it's also you know, or community here, or the country I live here, I live in, is it's like it's normal, you know, you finish school, then you go studying, or maybe not, you know, then you look for a job, and you're staying at that job, you know, maybe 10, 15, 20 years, at least that's how our parents were doing it. I know it's similar in your country, so and you know, all this people around you, parents, maybe also, you know, your boyfriend, or you know, your partner, or whoever there is, or maybe also your relatives, or the people with whom you hang out, they have these expectations of how things are supposed, how it should happen, you know, how your life should look like. And if someone is doing it differently, this person is either crazy, weird, I don't know, whatever, you know. And of course, everyone would like to be accepted, you know, either from parents, friends, partner, and sometimes you're just doing things that are, you know, that others would like you to be doing. So that was kind of my path, and I thought it was the right thing to do. I thought this was me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went studying economics, and well, business and economics. So, and I kind of, you know, for the fact that I didn't like it, I even finished it. So and I know it helped me on my path. So I couldn't be saying now that this was wrong, you know, that I went to study business and economics. But I can remember one of our professors once saying, you know, see all those people in this room. Now you are maybe friends, but in 10 or 15 years, all those people are going to be businessmen, having their own companies, and you might not be friends anymore. So I was like, what are you talking about? And it was really scary, you know, because I liked the people in that room, and maybe some of them I didn't knew, but you know, why would I want to be like a competition to someone? So that was totally like unnatural for me. And I won't go into all my jobs I did, but there were quite a lot of them, like really interesting ones, and every job I did was like leading me to something new, like new experience, new knowledge, new connections. And it wasn't only about connections, it was really learning about people, about relationships, about myself, about, you know, new skills. And I never knew that all those skills are one day gonna be so useful. um, and and yeah, but kind of I can remember there was always some type of guidance, you know, some type of guidance. And even if I thought that I was making my decisions like from my mind, Well, sometimes I did, but sometimes some decisions came from my heart, or from some sort of guidance. And I think that the big message for the people out there watching this is that whatever you're doing right now, you shouldn't be thinking that it's wrong, or whatever decision you make, you shouldn't like feel guilty about it, or like oh, I should have chosen this path, because that's what I was doing. I did I made some decisions I regretted later, but it's like when you're on this crossroad and you have so many ways, that you to choose from, which direction I'm gonna go, and you have to know that every direction you choose is right. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
can echo those sentiments exactly, because I mean, I know I'm obviously no longer acting, and I'm no longer doing makeup, which was my other career path after doing acting. But there are so many skills that I learned whilst studying those two things that I use within my life now and within my work now. I mean, especially like with the acting, it's the really being able to empathize with people and situations and really feel into how these these events that, or things that happen in people's lives, can affect them, and being able to really hold space and embody that's definitely come through with me on my career path. And the same with the makeup, it's like really caring for somebody in a way where it's like I'm very intimately giving them a procedure where they're making themselves feel better about themselves, but I'm doing something to gift them this feeling. But for me, it was always
Mm-hmm.
about the feeling. It was always about the way they felt inside, not necessarily just about the aesthetic. It was about giving them that self-empowerment and that self-confidence to know how beautiful they truly are.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what's here, it's that feeling inside that is the important bit. So I guess those two elements have echoed through in the work that I do now. And I think that's the point you're trying to make, is that there's nothing that you've done in your life that's not going to be helpful. Nothing is a waste of time. Nothing is, we've been doing this job for 10 years, I just wasted my time. No, you've gained so much experience and
Yeah.
understanding about the world and how that particular occupation works. You can take those skills and use them in the next thing. It may be a completely different thing, but there's still going to be something and some experience that you can take from that is going to help you on your next leg of your journey. So yeah, totally echo what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's quite I hear that quite often, uh I can totally say my age out loud at this point. I don't know why, but my birthday is right in front of the door. I'm gonna be 39, and what I hear often from people my age or older or even younger, um, they are afraid of doing something else because they think they are too old. And I'm not like laughing at them, but I'm laughing inside of me because I had the same struggle. And I was younger, way younger than I am now. And I was like, oh my God, but I can't be doing this, this is I have to learn new things. And it was 9 years ago when I started working with dogs and dog owners, and it's not something you can go and study. There's no study. Well, if you want to become a veterinarian, of course, but I wanted to not become, I was a dog trainer and we were doing sport with dogs and so on. But you kind of decide, okay, I'm gonna invest my time, also a lot of money into learning new skills, new stuff, and it's all of the work and all of the studies. It's not only for the job. It's really for your life. It's for yourself. It's personal growth. It's spiritual growth. And you know, if I wouldn't decide 9 years ago to go down that path of entrepreneurship, I probably wouldn't have learned so much about myself. And dogs actually helped me not change, but I did start my spiritual journey before I own dogs that are still in my life now. But it's so much more intense with them. So maybe, you know, some people have children and they are helping them grow, and I have dogs. So, and this profession actually brought me to the point where I started doing the work I'm doing right now. And if it wasn't them, well, I would be probably somewhere else doing something else, and it it would be good, you know. Okay, so what I wanted to say is never be afraid of learning new stuff, you know, because it's not you finish, you know, university and then you're, you know, I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Until I retire. I don't need anything, any new skills. I'm done.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know where we got this approach from, but I think it was probably from the system where they wanted us to be programmed. And you know, you're
Yeah.
like, when you're 25, you're okay, you're finished, programmed, finished.
Yeah. Now you are, you know, exactly what we want.
Yeah,
This
a robot.
good robot who just is just gonna work and eat and sleep and until they die. Yeah,
Yeah.
really. In the grand scheme of it, I mean, I don't think I could have ever been that person to expect kids when they're straight out of school to know what they want to do, and that pressure to know what you want to do with having no life experience, because school isn't life experience. School is a programming operation. let's be blunt. It is a programming operation where, you know, we're just molded and set to conform to this particular way, this particular society. It's not the real world. It's not real life. The only way you can actually get out there and learn about life and people and what it's actually like out there is if you actually get out there and do it. So to be expected to know what you want to do at 17, 18 years old, and then go and study that for 4 or 5 years, and then that's you for your life, it's not realistic. And it makes a lot of people very, very unhappy, especially that pressure. The amount of people that I meet that aren't doing what their heart is calling them to do is it's really sad. And then the people who do, you know, I've known a lot of musicians and things in my life, but people that do really follow their hearts, they're really, really struggling because of the way that industry is run. You know, they're really, really, they know that this is their passion and the thing they have to do, but the way that is set up to reward the big kahunas and the ones at the bottom of the chart, they get the pennies, and it's there's so many things that are out of whack with that.
Yeah, and people, yeah, you can see people like being really confused because of, you know, on one side they want to follow, you know, their hearts and, you know, to pursue their passion. And on the other side, because of the programs and because of the what others are going to say, they are just scared to do this next step, which is probably really important. And coming to this point, that's actually what I've been thinking about this morning. I will say many of us, because I was one of them. We all want to have this, let's say, like a future picture, how it's gonna turn out, how this is gonna work out for me if I decide I'm gonna do this new, this new work. But we can't know that, so we are holding on to the past. We're holding on to what's known to us, what's safe, what feels safe. And because we are so holding on to that, new doors can't open.
Yeah.
And new things can't enter. And this new thing, I always start really smiling when I talk about it, because these new things are so beautiful. I can't even tell you how beautiful it is when you're like opening the door and there's nothing and you're just entering, like, when a little child is opening up the closets and seeing what's inside there, and everything is new. It's the same feeling. Well, we don't probably know the feel. I can't remember the feeling when I was a little child, but I can assume it's the same feeling. And it's like exciting and like, wow. And at the end you see it's not that bad. So
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of programming as well about that. A lot of people have an abundance issue. They have an abundance problem. They're in this lack mentality, which they're spoon fed from an early age. And a lot of people don't realize about abundance and how abundance actually comes to you, how you embody that so you can attract it to you. It's very, very little known. So people spend their lives in a state of fear and doing things that their hearts really aren't calling them to do, because they are so used to living in that state of, I've got to do this for this,
yeah.
otherwise it's all going to go wrong. But when you take that leap of just pure, I don't know why I'm being called to do this. And sometimes you don't until you're doing it. You don't know why I'm called to do this thing until you're doing it, and then you go, oh, that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
If we knew how supported we were in our lives and the choices that we make and the paths that we choose to go down, if we knew how the universe supports us, then we could just start going on this path that is fulfilling in so many ways. But it is difficult and it is scary, especially if it's not something you're used to, and you obviously have doubts. But when the right thing comes along, like, there is definitely an energy that comes with it. And I mean, I know what I'm like. If I feel something that strongly, I'm just like, I'm holding on to that really, really tightly. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah. And if I just go back to abundance, because you actually said something that was going through my mind this morning. So I see it reached you.
That conversation we had this morning when you were on the walk. Just
yeah, my guides are really, really loud, telling me that abundance comes in many ways. They are so loud, like for a few years now. They are telling me abundance comes in many ways. And at the beginning, I didn't want to hear it, because I was so focused on earning money that I wasn't even thinking about anything else. I have to earn money, I have to pay bills, I have to do this. And so and this abundance was like in front of me all the time. And because I wasn't opening up to these new possibilities, abundance didn't happen, you know, in the way that it's supposed to happen for me. That doesn't mean, you know, that other people are going to have the same experience. But, you know, in my, I won't say in my career, but, you know, in my life, there were moments or periods of time I wasn't earning enough money, you know, even to buy food, or, you know, to buy some things for myself. And I can remember before experiencing that, I always had that fear in myself. What's going to happen if I'm going to end up without money? Or, you know, what if I lose this? What if I lose that? And now that I know the feeling, how, you know, how this works, it actually brought me to learn what true abundance is. And I don't have this fear anymore that I'm going to lose anything, because I already have everything I need. And whenever I buy something that's maybe more expensive, or something that's you know, is going to provide me with, you know, or that's going to maybe bring me some happiness, or, you know, whatever, I'm not in fear, living in fear. What if this, like, what if this disappears? It's just, okay, it's here, and I'm really thankful that it's here, and I'm thankful for everything that's in my life, you know. And so when people um, are like struggling with not doing this step, you know, maybe going from their regular jobs to their new occupation, it's mostly because of money. And I was thinking, you know, like many times about it, what I would say to those people, you know, because some of them have cars, you know, they have houses, they have maybe apartments, they are owning it, you know. And, you know, if you not get rid of it, but if you decide to to maybe sell an apartment, to sell a car, to sell a house, and not knowing what this would bring into your life, um, it will definitely bring new opportunities, and those opportunities wouldn't be able to be there if you would still hold on with that old one, you know. And if this house is connected to your old you, then it's not supposed to be there anymore, you know, because it's time to, if we like look on this linear time, you know, if you're like here, you know, and you're going there, you know, here you don't need the things you were having here in your past. So
Yeah.
just let's be here all the time, you know.
Yeah.
When you're driving, you know, let's be here. Your consciousness is here. It's not there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
maybe it's a funny thing to explain, but this is how it is, you know.
Yeah.
Don't hold on to your past. So.
Yeah. It's like, as you were talking there, I was sort of being reminded of this sort of materialism that we have been living in a society that, you know, you have to constantly be buying all of these things to fill a cup that can never actually be filled.
Yeah.
You're spending money on, was it mostly clothes, cars, holidays, all of these things. But I mean, I've always, like, I love the saying, build the life that you don't need a holiday from. Because it's like, yes, yeah, like abundance is like within, like that absolute contentment with your life and how you're living, even if you're, you know, you have enough to pay your rent, your bills, and enough to eat and get by. Nothing else is needed.
Yeah.
You know, all of these material possessions, yes, it's nice to have nice
Of
things
course.
and treat yourself to nice things every now and again, but it shouldn't be your main focus. Trying to constantly fill up this unfillable cup is not actually going to make you feel fulfilled.
Yeah, at this point, I have to share something from our last lesson we had with Janvier, Janvier Soboter. He's doing the Wonder Method class. So I was participating in that, and it was our last session, last lesson, last Tuesday, and we were like experiencing different states, let's say so. So he said, the last thing. It isn't about imagining, but it's about feeling certain things. And he was like saying, how it is like, or how it would be for you wearing your favorite lipstick. It was something like that, and because he's connecting, we're in an energy field together, so he's feeling what I'm feeling. So he was like at the end he said, um, it was like I felt the confusion inside of, not confusion, but this feeling inside of you, like, oh, everything just went up. And I later explained why it happened. It's because I don't have a favorite lipstick. Said, if you would ask me anything else, I don't know, maybe about food or something, you would get a totally different feeling than asking me about a lipstick, because I don't have a favorite one. So. And yeah, of course, it's nice to have nice clothes and to go on vacation and holidays. But like you said, if you're like running away from your life or escaping your life, I don't know if you want to live like this,
Yeah, if you're just working to pay for that holiday that is going to take you away from a life that is not actually the one you want to be living.
And that's what people are experiencing right now.
Yeah.
They are experiencing that because life is they're getting this new meaning of life right now. That's at least my perspective, and not all of the people out there, but some of them at least. And I'm not expecting of anyone that like everyone should change their lives or something like that, because we need we need people who are working in the grocery stores. And I'm really like I appreciate every person who is doing any kind of job. So it's not like, okay, these people are just gonna disappear tomorrow or so. But if that makes them happy, if they're really happy with that job, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. If you're happy doing your 9 to 5, then wonderful, and thank you for your assistance and your service and your help to us. Yeah, I think for me personally, I've just never been somebody that's been able to have a boss. Just not that way inclined. I'm just not. I'm too stubborn. But that's just the way that I am.
Yeah, but maybe this is also the concept that they were presenting to us. They we're supposed to be called like co-creators, or I don't know, maybe a different approach, different words. Not that someone is like above you or someone is like the
Yeah.
main figure. Yes, of course, this old, I'm talking about old system because for me it's already old. For some, it's like it's disappearing, and eventually it will disappear. We just have no choice, you know. Our consciousness is expanding, and
Yeah.
we won't be able to operate in those old systems. And those old systems had here how it's called hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy. And this is not something that this, let's say, new earth or new world has. And the same goes for, like, let's say, for governments, for schooling system, whatever you can imagine, you know.
Yeah. I think this is kind of why different groups of people wake up at different times as well, because it's like, I mean, to some people this conversation would be completely out there. What are they talking about? You just have to get a job. Just get a job. Some people, that will be their perspective, and that's fine. But I think this is partly why there's different groups of people that wake up at different times. It's like, we will be able to help the new ones.
Yeah.
We'll be able to give them a lift up, a hand up to the new paradigm.
It just reminded me about someone who commented, you know, now everyone wants to be spiritual, everyone wants to do coaching, everyone, you know. There are so many new people in this, let's say, spiritual world, and also new professions, and yeah, new methods that are like being presented to us daily, and it's because we need that at the moment. We just maybe are not aware of it yet, and I'm totally open if life will, you know, just do a little dance with me, and I'm gonna go in totally different direction in a few years. I don't know, and I'm
Yeah.
open to it. And I think with accepting that, it's a big favor you can do to yourself if you accept things the way they are, and 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 that this is not something bad if you're changing. You know, this is normal that
Yeah.
you have different wishes that you had 5 years ago. And it doesn't mean if you're now doing something that you haven't done 2 years ago, that doesn't mean that you're not, that you don't have enough skills to do that work. Because, you know, what about 20 years of training before that?
Yeah.
So I think, like, all of us should be aware of, it's not only about this one course or that one uh, university, or, you know, it's not only about that, because we are mostly looking for only this one diploma, you know. One
Yeah.
diploma is enough for everything. And I still see people judging, you know, those who maybe start doing something new. Like,
Yeah.
this is something bad. Oh, look at her. She's not doing that. She's like going crazy.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
doesn't know what she wants with her life, what she should do with her life. So she's just, you know, doing this and that, and, you know, that's being creative. That's
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not just flitting from one thing to another. It's a
No.
in your toolkit.
Yeah.
Because that's very much the case with the work that we do with the BQH. It's, you know, it is it encompasses all aspects of what you can do, not just within this lifetime either.
Yes, of
You
course.
can add in all of the skills that many aspects of yourself have had for eons. You
Yeah.
know? I'm going to tell the story. There was a confrontation with somebody about a month ago. Some spiritual teacher person contacted me and said some very rude things about, you can buy yourself a course, but it doesn't make you a healer. I've been doing this for 25 years. That real egoic kind of
Yeah.
mindset. And my natural response to that, although I didn't say it, was, well, I've been doing this for lifetimes.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
no concept of being able to judge me for
Yeah.
buying a course.
And
And
first of all, you are human, like human soul.
yeah,
You're this soul
yeah,
having this human experience, and it's
yeah,
all about. It's almost like you're newly activated, but not newly activated. That's the wrong word. Activated again and again and again. Because
yeah,
it's all remembrance from.
exactly.
And it's not only from past lives. It's the universal knowledge, or some call it akashic records. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna take this file and this file.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the time to open this file.
Yeah, and then you start to build a picture that you can actually call in all of these different aspects of yourself.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
open that channel, you can call them all
Yeah.
in to be able to work through you. You might not have a million pieces of paper on the wall that say you have this certificate, this certificate, this certificate, but there's actually parts of you that are coming through you that are being activated within your spiritual journey.
Yeah. That's actually it's kind of funny because you mentioned the papers and the diplomas, because the people can't see my wall that I have in front of me, but it's not full of diplomas. It's full of beautiful like pictures and paintings and like and I kind of got the realization, it's reminding me about staying creative in my life, and like allowing myself to experiment, and to ask myself every day, okay, what you're gonna paint today.
Yeah.
Like, not that I'm painting, I don't have time for that now, I don't take time for that now, but what are you going to create today? What's going to be your role today? And I even sometimes have to remind myself, to staying open to that, because sometimes I'm still human. I still have like my own struggles sometimes, and living in this conventional let's say house or community.
Yeah.
Uh, I've been like reminded of old programs and old belief systems all the time. And it's a good training. And even recognizing that this is old training, it's part of being here, and my work, because it's important. And that way I can help others. And yeah, I still, I don't know my future self yet.
Yeah.
I'm the future self now, so
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
I think I'm just being reminded of a session that I did for someone recently where they felt like they were getting frustrated with their job. And they didn't know if it was the end of the time in their job or whether this was one of their questions. And the answer that came through was, it's not the job that you're frustrated with, the job is good for you, the job you enjoy, the job isn't your end game, but the job is actually something that you are good at and you can do, and it's where you're supposed to be right now. You're frustrated that you're not where you want to be. You're not at the dream point yet. You're not at the end game, the vision. You're not there yet. And you're frustrated with that. So that's making you feel like you're frustrated with your job. But sometimes like that patience and knowing that yes, that is ultimately where I'm going to get to, but this here is assisting me to build my skills to take that leap to get to where I'm going to go. So there's a lot of sides to this. There's so, like you were saying, there's so many layers to this. There's so many like parts of this that can be explored and looked at, and yeah.
So maybe we can share also how a session, a PQH session, or a session of any kind of modalities, because we are incorporating different modalities into our work and always learning some new stuff. How this spiritual work or this self-development work can help you with that. So what's your thought about that?
Well, I would say in my personal experience, I would say this work, BQ, quantum healing work, can definitely show you the other aspects of yourself, the other parts of who you are and the jobs that you have done, not just in this lifetime, but all of your experiences, all of these parts of you that some may feel completely alien to you, but still a part of you, and it's still a part of your soul's story. So it's definitely, for me, led me to these other aspects of myself that have helped me develop the skills that I have within the work that I do. It's helped me have more confidence with the skills that I have. It's made me, take more of a leap to actually incorporate all these different aspects of myself in my work. I think as well it can give you clarity, and having that clarity can be really, it can be really, really helpful to getting you to understand where you are, why you are where you are, and what is going to, and sometimes as a complete surprise, the answers that come through are a complete surprise.
Yeah.
Other times it's just affirming. It's just so affirming, just to receive that confirmation from your higher self. Like, our minds can drive us nuts with just the conflict that we can have in our minds about what we're doing and, where we are in our lives. Like, putting all of that to one side, all of that, should I, shouldn't I, what's this, that, the other, and hearing from your own voice, your own answer from your soul, that's just pure clarity. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. And sometimes, when you're like conscious, you can't, you don't want to see things. You don't want to, your mind is convinced that this is the right thing you're doing. Like I said, everything is right what you're doing, but you're not seeing or feeling that these other possibilities out there. So, and sometimes in this kind of session, you can get different like pictures, clear pictures of how it could look like, or maybe how it already happened in, maybe in one of your past lives, if you see your past life, or you're just getting guidance, or maybe a clearing of your way, so that you can like fully step onto your new path. And a lot of, because a lot of us started this journey with not being connected to our higher selves, or not having a clear connection to your heart, not hearing the messages, or not feeling anything, because you can get sensations as a confirmation that you're on the right path, or seeing the signs. And as soon as any type of signs start appearing in your life, maybe it may be numbers, people you meet, whatever, maybe you're guided to this video, or maybe you're guided to quantum healers community, or whatever, or maybe to a method. You should just trust that this is the next thing to do. And the more you also meditate, or go out into the nature, because a lot of people are not uh, able to meditate because of their minds being so loud and noisy. It's still enough to unplug, from all the computers and phones, and just go outside, go into the nature, go swimming, go just walking barefoot in a stream. I don't know, just connecting, because Mother Nature is a way. It's a yeah. It's like those spirits from the nature are talking to us, like showing us the way. And it's maybe also animals, birds, plants, whatever. It's all like communicating, buzzing. And even if you're not aware of like it consciously, not understanding, you're understanding it on a cellular level. I'm like 100% sure about it. So I kind of lost track now. So what I wanted to say.
Okay. I think as well, I think these sessions can
Oh yeah, the sessions, yeah.
they can also sometimes show you your dream as if it is, and your dream as if it is your reality. They can take you to that point, that timeline that you want to be on, so you can really feel what it's like to be in that space. So it makes it more viable. It makes it more like this could actually happen, which in turn gives you the boost to start going down that path and making that happen, because it just gives you the confirmation that, of course you can do these things. So that's what I wanted to add. I don't know what you were.
No.
When you
Okay,
were
that was probably yeah. And yeah, maybe one last message, or a, a, a message for everyone out there, that I just really want people to feel accepted, not being judged about anything. And like we said before, if you decide to work in your regular job from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, this is okay. And you don't have to turn your life around, and even people who decide to stay, let's say, in a bubble, it's also okay. It's normal. And it's, of course, it's everyone is or on their individual path, individual spiritual journey. And no, we'll not we shouldn't compare, each other, because we're individuals, we are unique, and you are great the way you are. So
absolutely,
yeah,
whatever you're doing, whatever path that you're on, and you decide to go down, is you're always exactly where it's meant to go. And yeah, but just be gentle with yourselves.
be
Doing a good
gentle.
job.
Yeah.
whatever that job is, you're doing it well.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
is there anything you'd like to add to it? You can maybe share what.
Well, I've also, on a more personal note, I've decided to go down a slightly new path. I'm doing an advance on the work I'm already doing. I'm doing the IQH course, Illuminated Quantum Healing, which, like I described earlier, was I didn't know why I had to do that. I had no idea why I had to do that. I really didn't know what it involved or if it was much different from what we already do. I didn't know why I had to do that, but I knew I had to. And when I bought the course and I watched the introduction, I cried because I suddenly realized that that was exactly where I was meant to be. And although my conscious mind didn't know why I was doing what I was doing, it all just made so much sense when I watched that introduction, and I just realized that suddenly this was exactly where I was supposed to be. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. Kind of reminded me about my own journey, like really emotional, but yeah. And I always see how connected we are, because like we're sometimes doing it telepathically, so I just love that. Because I was thinking about, before I started, uh, coming uh, to an end. I was thinking, if I should share what my current struggles are or current feelings are about my own path, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I should share it. And then you shared yours, not struggle, but your path. What you're doing, and I have a similar experience when I visited a workshop last year where hydrosols were introduced to me, how to use them. And I can remember when I sat down there by the table next to the teacher, and without her even saying a word, I sat down and I had eyes full of tears, because I knew that I am exactly where I need to be, and it happened once or twice after it, and both times it was connected to herbs, essential oils, or any kind of herbal extracts. Either being on a property, in the middle of a garden, feeling really emotional and not knowing why. I was like, oh, what the heck? What's going on? So, yeah, it's connected to a garden that me and my boyfriend are having here at our place, and growing herbs and vegetables. And, it's a big part of, of myself. I'm still not knowing where this will lead us. So it's a new story we are doing together with him. And, I don't know what the end result will be. I just know that it's a really relaxing. It's a lot of work, but it's where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
I think it's just so important to trust that feeling that you get inside, that little niggle of the thing that keeps cropping up in your awareness, that you're like, I would really like to do that. I don't actually have any reason for why I want to do that, but there's something telling me I really need to do that. That's your higher self. It's your higher self and your guides going, do that thing.
Yeah. So Nina, maybe share with people where they can find you, and yeah.
Well, I'm from Rafaela Soul Sessions, which you can get at www.rafaelasoulsessions.com. I will leave all my links in my description, and I'll send you the link so you can share it as well if you want, and I'll do the same for you. But tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, I will also put a link below the video. It's a Linktree link where you have many links, where you can find me. You know, I have a website. It's still only in Slovene, but there's Google Translate. So, and usually it pops up. You know, they want to translate it automatically, so you can do that. And you can subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'm publishing BQA session stories there, meditations, Slovene and English. And you can have a session with me either in Slovene, English, German. I wanted to say Deutsch. Deutsch is German. So I feel guided to assist people in all three languages, even though it's sometimes challenging, but I really feel this is something I should be doing. So if you feel guided to any, you know, either to Nina or either to me, we're both going to be very happy. I'm always happy when Nina is having a client. So.
I'm always happy when you have a client. It's
so that's, yeah, that's the way we work. So we are like doing PR for each other.
Yeah, I mean, when any of us practitioners have a client and help somebody in this way, it's a win for everyone, because it's the service to others. It's, you're helping the greater good when you're helping somebody in this way. You're helping everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, everybody wins. So I hope we're gonna do another chat really soon, and if not, this is also okay. we're always waiting for our guidance, and sometimes, you know, it was a challenging time. You know, June and July. Even before that, we all know it was quite intense. So, you know, we said, let's just leave it and see when the right moment will come. Then we will meet again.
We always know when the right time is.
Yeah.
And if not, we're always comfortable with just saying, maybe not right now.
Yeah. So I wish for all of you to find your own guidance, you know, to the connection to your heart, to your guides, to the universal wisdom that is out there for everyone. I just want to make a big shout out about it. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Nina, for doing this with me again and again and again. I love you so much. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of July, everyone, and the rest of summer. So
yeah, just trust yourselves, and just feel our love.
Yeah. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.